The other day, I came across some players that were using this perk called Ghost, and every time I clicked on the UAV, they weren't on my radar at all, and most of the time I had a really difficult time. And as a pro player that's been playing for a while and that's number 2 on the leaderboard, I've been trying and playing a lot, and I've came across a lot of these players once in a while, like they'll be in a team or something, and one of them would be rocking a Ghost perk. During the time when I was playing against those guys, one of them, like the Ghost guy, he had a suppressor as well, and it was so difficult to kill him because as a lot of players are starting to get better and better in this game, they have kind of adapted to looking at the radar a lot, and this kind of helps out a lot of players that are coming into the game and they want to learn to get better. I recommend you guys to check out the first class here. So let's get right into it. So the very first class that I recommend is basically called Ghost. So the very first weapon you guys see, I have a suppressor on my AR. Now you can use any suppressor for whatever gun you're using, like the SMGs or the assault rifle or LMGs or whatever you're using. Put a suppressor on there. It'll help you be undetected and people will have a hard time trying to locate you. It's a really good way to hide from your enemies. The second thing that you guys want is to get your perks correct. So let's go right into the first one. The red one that I have right now is lightweight. Now you have to understand what type of player are you. I am right now a very aggressive. I like to get into people's faces. I like to challenge people in a 1v1s in a battle. Like if I go into a fight, I want to get into really close as much as possible. So for me, lightweight is very important. I like to get there as quickly as possible and get out as fast as I can, and I'm not very a defensive player. Now if you are a defensive player, I recommend you guys to try out some other perks, and the first thing I would like you to try out is Agile. And Agile is a very good perk as well. It will help you quickly use your weapon as soon as possible. As soon as you see someone, it reduces, after sprinting, it reduces by 85%. So your weapon gets out right away, you get to aim down sight, and you actually win most of those gunfights. And I was counting the percentage of time that I use this perk, and I've won 85% of my gunfights. And I'm not kidding, like I've been winning a lot of my gunfights using this perk. But when I used lightweight, I did not win most of my gunfights. I would probably win like about 60% of my gunfights when I used lightweight, but in the meantime, I was able to get about 2 to 3 players without them checking or getting them off guard in a way. So it is kind of like personal preference what you would use. If you're very aggressive, then definitely check out lightweight. If you're very passive and you're playing for picks and trying to build your KDR, definitely go for Agile. These 2 perks are very important, and it's basically what you prefer. So let's go right into the next one. The next one we have here is Ghost. Now Ghost is also very important. The other day I was playing rank and I discovered some players using Ghost, this perk, right? And it's hard to find them on their radar. It was hard for me personally. I was looking at my radar and I couldn't find these guys. They were hidden from me. And it kind of made me realize, man, I can't get any kills without looking at my radar. A lot of pros are struggling with people that are using Ghost, and this is going to help you out a lot. If you're going against a pro and he's like depending too much on the radar, you will win most of the time because he won't even realize you're right next to him. So this is a very important perk. If you're trying to be a Ghost, definitely put this bad boy on there. The third thing that I recommend is the Dead Silent. Now Dead Silent is very important. When you play rank or you're leveling up, Dead Silent, a lot of pros are depending so much on their headphones. They listen to the footsteps around them and they can hear basically when you slide or jump and stuff like that. And Dead Silence prevent you from making footsteps. Now they don't prevent you from sliding quietly. Pros would be able to hear you slide even if you're using Dead Silent. That's just, you know, how it is. But Dead Silence prevents you from making any noise when you're moving around. And this is what you need. You need Dead Silent, and you want to make sure you have Ghost and lightweight. If you're very aggressive, definitely pick it up. And also you want a suppressor in your weapon. That is basically it, and this is called the Ghost class. Now let's move on to the second class. Alright guys, so the second class that I have here is basically one of my try-hard type of class, and I use this most of the time in scrims and competitive games, and sometimes in tournaments that I play right now. This helps me out a lot. Like I'm telling you guys, this is probably the best, kind of the best class if you're already a pro and you're facing other pros. This will help you out a lot. So let's talk about it. The AK-117, this is my main priority weapon that I use for scrims and competitive games, and the attachment that I use are pretty similar. They're just simple. They have the Thor grip, they have the quick draw, and quick draw really helps out if you're using agile perk as well. So that's another thing. And the stock AR is also very important. So whenever you're aiming down sight, you want to also move to the left and right, and it will help you out a lot. So that is the first part. The second part is using the SMRS. Now the SMRS is also very important. If the enemy has a UAV, you're able to take out that UAV right away as quickly as possible, and that's what you want. You want to have that. And this third thing is we're going to be talking about the perks. So let's go right into it. The perk that we have here is Agile. Like I said in the beginning, Agile is really important. You want to make sure you win gunfights. If you're playing against other pros and you're depending too much on your 1v1s against other players, or like a one-on-one fight, anything relating to who's reacting the fastest, anybody with Agile is going to win the gunfight. And that's just depends on your aim and who sees who first. So if you have this, you're definitely getting better on it. And another second thing that I probably would recommend for those of you guys that are just starting off, try out Fast Recover. Is also good. It increases your HP recovery rate by 35%, which is also very, very crucial. If you're really low, it will bump you up really quick. But again, you don't really need to care about that. If you're playing S&D, you would probably want this bad boy. All right, so the second thing that I'm going to recommend you guys is the green perk. Now the green perk that I have here is Toughness. Toughness is really, really important, and I'm going to tell you why. Every time you get shot or something, someone shooting you from behind or something, you will be able to respond as quickly as possible. If someone shoots you, it will reduce the shot by 60%, so you won't be shaking all around, oh god, I'm gonna die now, you actually have a chance to turn around and kill that player. And this is what it comes to. Toughness is really good if you're going against a really good team. So this is definitely helps me out a lot. If you're playing pubs and stuff, you should probably just go with Vulture. Vulture is also pretty good. It just picks up bullets if you're playing TDMs or domination, something simple. Yeah, if you're not really playing competitive, you're not playing ranks, definitely pick that up. If you're playing rank, you definitely want this better. This is definitely the way to go. So the third thing we got here is Dead Silent. Now Dead Silent is also very competitive. This is the whole entire class that I have here. It's just competitive class, and Dead Silent is very, you're gonna need it for if you're ranking up and you're trying to get to a higher level. This is what you want. So yeah, this is basically my competitive scrim type of class. It's just really, really simple setup. I do have a trophy system, and trophy system blows up any grenades flying at you, so this is also really needed. And yeah, that is my competitive class. We're gonna go ahead and move to the very last class that everybody keeps talking about. Actually, nobody really talks about it. I just wanted to say that. So this third class that I got here is called the XP class. Now the XP class is all about points. You want to get as much as points as possible, shooting down UAVs up in the air. Like someone has a UAV, you take it down with your RPG and you're pretty good basically. So that is the whole idea of this class. This idea is to get more points and top frag and be the #1 player on your scoreboard, and this is what it's about. So let's go right into it. So you want to rock SMGs, you can rock assault rifles, but the whole purpose of this class is to be really aggressive. So any SMGs work great. So I kind of recommend the MSMC or the PDW 57. So definitely go with those two. Overall, you can switch between those. So you can switch in between those two. So whatever you feel comfortable, rock around with it. You can add some more damage to it if you want, or you want something else. You can change the attachment. The attachments don't really matter. You can use whatever you want. Make sure they just work for you. That's all that needs to happen. The second thing you need is the SMRS. This will also help you take out UAVs up in the air. So that's what you want. Now let's get right into the perks. So the perks that you need here is lightweight. You want to play really aggressive. You're trying to get as many points as possible. So yeah, lightweight is the way to go if you're trying to play aggressive and get more points. The second perk that you guys need is Toughness. Toughness is also really good because you're going to be pushing up front. And once you're pushing up front, you want to make sure you are getting less damage as possible. And there is other perks that you can use, but this one is the best one out of all of them. Like if someone shoots at you, you are able to respawn as quickly as possible. So that is what you want. Toughness is the way to go. And there is other perks that you could use, you know, but honestly, I prefer toughness for this class. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is Hardline. Hardline is a very important perk. It helps you get more XP. Every time you kill an enemy, it's not going to be 100 XP, it's going to be 125 XP. So it is all about how many enemies you take out, and also UAVs. You get more points as soon as you take them out. You kind of get more points when you capture it as well. That is something interesting if you're like getting into it. So those are like all the 3 best perks that I can recommend for you guys. If you guys are getting into it and you want to get really good with all these perks, these are the 3 best classes in rankings that I've been playing. I've been playing for a while now, and I've faced these players, these type of players, and they really impressed me. So if you guys want a good class, these are the best classes that I recommend for all of you guys that are starting out and you're trying to get the best class. I hope this video helped you guys out, and as always, make sure you guys leave a like and a comment down below, subscribe with the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.